Morning, guys. Still getting the last few things set up here. It's like I got so much to start whenever we start up. Let's see where uh we were stuck in that middle from last week, so we're kind of creating a big old bear flag on your hourly candle if you're looking at the hourly charts. My thing was a little bit behind. Didn't sound quite loud enough. All right, let me see. There we go. Uh, Last week we created this big hourly order block to the top side, and we have yet to get back through it. We've been fighting that thing all week long. We've been pretty much trading inside that 1 hour leg that we've been kind of talking about. We finally did break that low, so this is why I'm kind of thinking we moved down this morning. We're also kind of at the previous day low, unless we can kind of get back above that previous day low. Hmm. All right, we'll bring over the chart real quick. That way it's a little easier to see. This way you can kind of see what I'm looking at this morning. Let me get this thing set up real quick here. Get out of here with that. All right. All right. So here's the bullish order block that we were stuck in last week. This was support last week. You can kind of see it's been mitigated. So this is the opener from Friday. I was pretty much saying like if we stay between this support and the bullish OB, we're going to pretty much have an inside leg. And this is the inside leg that we ended up just having on Friday. So never could get back out of this one big hourly leg that we ran from, when was that? The 20th? Wait, let's see. No, we created this order block last Wednesday. So Wednesday's when we created this order block. So it took us about 3 days to kind of get below it. We still never did push above it. So this is kind of why I'm just kind of looking for the downside here. We got more weak support. Maybe we run down here to the, I mean, it's a long ways down, but hey, the really good support's all the way down at 700. In the 700s here. And plus, you had a big move with Bitcoin this weekend. So I feel like whenever Bitcoin goes up, NASDAQ goes down. So that kind of could be the case today. So let me fix this real quick so I make sure we see that. All right. Mhm. All right, let's check news out this morning for anybody that likes to follow news. Let me so for news, we go to investing.com. There is a few others that will offer the news for you, but we just use investing.com. All right, let's see. Economic calendar. So really not a lot going on today as far as news goes. Mm, we'll have 3-star news tomorrow. Home sales. Initial job claims. So does that mean it's non-farm payroll Friday? Let's see. Here's Friday. Chicago. No, I guess not. Mm, I don't know about you guys, but I feel blood this morning. I don't know why. I feel like I slept good last night. I just don't really feel that awake today. Hopefully we can just find us a couple funded trades and just kind of be done and just concentrate maybe on some evals today and just kind of stay away from the fundeds. It was a pretty rough week last week as far as fundeds go. I just hope it doesn't turn into another chop fest like it has been. The last weekend was some pretty rough price action. Hmm. Hey, what are y'all? We're already spamming this early in the morning there, guys? Come on. I spent more time blocking the gold spammers in the lobby, guys. Oh, goodness. I'm going to sit here and wait for the opening, guys. I am not, I mean, going to, especially with longs. Shorts, I might be okay with, but with longs, no. Is if you look at the hourly candles, there is so much consolidation in this big, like 1 hour OB above us. So I just don't know how hard it's going to be for us to get through this without a lot of just back and forth. So we are pushing above the previous day low. This is also kind of a critical area too. That See on the 5 minutes, it looks a little bit cleaner. It looks like we could possibly push up, but man, if you're looking at the hourly candle, no. I just hope it doesn't just turn into a chop fest today. All right, we got about 10 more minutes before the market opens. Like I said, I'm kind of hoping for a move to the downside. The 5 minute does have support, but I feel like we can get through that. The higher time frame has the stronger support, where if you're looking at the 5 minutes, you would think that we would move up higher on the 5 minutes, but and it and it looks like a what do you want to say? Big old bear flag on the 1 hour candle. All right, we'll switch over to the hourly and kind of show you what we're talking about with all the resistance to the top side on the hourly candle. You can kind of see it here. See right above. I mean, it may offer you a move to the upside, but man, just getting through this. This is also another big bullish. This is the order block that we were talking about from, man, we actually missed that. That was a nice little order block there. When was that? The 24th? When was the 24th? Is that today? Yeah. Man, what a nice 20. Yeah. So this is kind of a trade we look for where you get a big bullish or bearish candle with a small candle, and the third candle is your breakout. So what about anybody else? What's everybody looking for this morning? Is anybody looking for long, short, or are you just kind of on the fence? You just kind of wait for the market opens, or how do most of you guys approach the market in the morning? A lot of times I like to wait for the first either 5 to 15-minute candle to print and kind of get an idea which way we're going to go. Because a lot of times with that first 15-minute candle is the manipulation candle, and then it's a complete reversal the rest of the day. So, so usually the morning's usually the probably the toughest time to find entries, and that's because of the big swings that you have to deal with. All right, we've got about 5 minutes here. I'm hoping to get a little profit on the funded accounts today and hopefully work on passing another eval. We have built up a nice little bear flag here, even on the 5 minutes. You got three nice ledges. Oh, shoot. I thought we've already had less than 5 minutes to go. Because see, we've already ran the top side of the 4 hour candle. So I feel like definitely 120 is a possible target today. Let's see. All right, guys, less than 3 minutes to go. Good luck today. How are you doing today, Roman? User Sinin. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Sin Ty David. Thank you guys for joining us today. Good luck today if you are trading the MNQ. Monday sometimes is usually a little bit on the tough side. Whenever we have a no news Monday, sometimes it can kind of turn into a really big chop fest. We also have Nvidia numbers coming out this week too, so the market could be waiting for those Nvidia numbers. So Monday you always try to protect my accounts, and Monday and Friday you always want to kind of protect your accounts. Usually the best trading comes on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Ooh. All right, guys, less than 2 minutes to go. You got about a minute, 30 seconds. We already kind of are breaking out of this 15-minute candle. And a lot of times, whenever we break out of this 15-minute candle beforehand, a lot of times you end up getting a really big move to the top side. But like I said, I just don't know what's going to happen between that 320 area where we're kind of running into a lot of that hourly consolidation there. Man, it's sometimes I feel like I'm looking at too much information sometimes, and I feel like this hurts me. This is why I try not to look at too much because I feel like it messes with my judgment as far as taking trades to go. All right. Whew. Wow, what a manipulation that was. Mm, like I said, this thing we're just ran a low. So we basically ran that 4 hour low also at 116. That was that 4 hour low that we had mentioned a while ago. You'd almost want to get below that 4 hour candle here. This could probably push back up to what, 172? That was the next wick up on the hourly candle. You can see we ran that 4 hour low right there, the previous 4 hour candle. Hmm. Also, if you're watching the, what is that? Shoot, that's always down there. Just don't want to get caught in this fake out here. Hmm. What the hell? Might be safer to wait for this next 5-minute candle here. What's up, man? Nothing's working. What are you still doing the wick where you're bouncing off the wicks? Dude. Dude, I'm getting horrible delays today. This is so fucking annoying. Still think we push down, guys. What are we, 33? I was looking for that 33 to get hit. Man, I feel like we got a long ways to the downside here. Should do the opposite. Dude, I'm having such a delay this morning. I don't understand. So like I've tried to enter and it doesn't enter. If you're looking at the hourly, I mean, we can go all the way to 940. We're waiting for this next 5 minute candle to see. Wow. Dude, I should have had this fucking short. I'm so annoyed. I entered it, but like I said, my thing didn't register. We got a little blockage here where I feel like we could get another pull back up here. Oh no, it went right through that shit. And see, now it's done dumped so far that I feel like I'm freaking chasing. Remember 90, that 35 area, 935 on the hourly candle? That's a resistance. I was looking for it pushed back up to 55, honestly. Uh, that would be the 15-minute pivot. Mm. Kind of want to see what happens at that 55 level. That's your next kind of level of support here. You got about 1 minute left on this 15-minute candle. All right. Hmm. Hmm. What's up, trader? Hmm. I don't know if we get through the what do you want to call it? 36 down there. What did we hit? No. I'm so annoyed because I took this short way up at the top part, but it delayed, so we didn't stay in it. So now we're just been kind of just sitting here watching. And I feel like if I jump in and chase, that we're just chasing. So we also got 5 minutes left for a new 5 minute candle. So you would think that we'd want to pull back on the 5 minute candle. I was looking for that push back up to 55, kind of retest that area, but don't know if we'll get there. It's probably safer to wait to the top of the hour here, guys. This also looks like it's creating a nice little bear flag on the 5 minutes here. So I think here comes that 55 touch that we were kind of feel like we were going to get. That's kind of the, if you look at the 15 minutes, that's kind of a retest of the 15 minutes. You're up in the short. Nice, trader. Like I said, we're still just kind of blah sitting on our hands. I feel like we missed the short up there. For some reason this morning, whenever I was popping in the shorts, it was delayed. So we're just kind of back to sitting on our hands and waiting to the top of the hour here. I feel like that's the safest play. You're looking to add to your short. Nice. Where'd you get short from, XO? I'm looking for a 55 pullback. 54, 55. There is a 15-minute pivot there. So a lot of times the 15 minutes likes to retest its pivot. 29,110. So this could just refill this gap fill in right here. All right, so we're about to get a lot of pushing here. I mean, I can see your 110 because that's where that hourly wick is up there. All right, new hourly candle here. Hmm. I'm not going to touch this unless we're back above that 355 area, guys. Hmm. Dude, what is up with this thing today? I mean, we had a nice little bear flag here. Uh, Dude, did that thing just... Dude, this thing's just trapping on both sides. Unfortunately, if you miss the big move, it's like now it's kind of like we're just gonna get through this or what? Hmm. See, watching Rico candles here, just because I'm just trying to stay with trend. Hmm. All right, let's see if we can get this big push down now. 36 is kind of what I've been looking for this whole time to the downside. Mm. This thing is so choppy that if you are going to enter, I definitely wouldn't enter heavy. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I want to try that short anymore. It's just one of these days. If you miss that first trade, the rest of this price action's pretty crappy. And it's just going to, you're just chasing breakouts. I feel like that's what I'm doing. It's just chasing breakouts. Sorry about the slow trading today, guys. We pretty much missed that move down. Like I said, I tried to enter that from earlier, right there on that second 5 minute candle, but I was getting delays on my entries, like by 10, 15 points. Hmm. Anybody in a short or long at the moment? How I can make this work out, we switch over to an eval, guys. You switch over to an eval, the trades work, but as soon as you're in fundeds, the shit will sit here and chop around forever. Nick, are you in a trade currently? What's up, Green? How are you doing today? Hopefully everyone's having a safe trading session. I feel like we missed a trade from the big short, and I feel like taking it now, I feel like I'm just chasing on fundeds. So that's why we're just kind of just sitting on the sidelines. If we take anything now, it may just be strictly funded. I mean, eval accounts. Cisco's. What time is it? 9:15. Oof. That I haven't counted, but man, I was on the struggle bus last week also, man. Oof. I lost one funded last week, and my funded futures eval. Yeah, it was a rough week for me too, and I took a big loss on one of my other fundeds too. So, but I just had to just cut myself. I had to like get off the charts because I couldn't stop. So I felt that tilty motion coming. We've pretty much sat on our hands most of the day. Like I said, I missed out on that big trade. I think we traded one account today. We got $30 in it. Like I said, I tried to short up here, but got stopped out on the runner, or just got stopped out pretty quick. And I didn't want to chase it. So no eval trades. I have the one my funded futures that we're trying to get past. We need about 400 more bucks in that account. Are you talking about for a 4 hour retest or get underneath? I mean, man, I feel like we can get underneath that 4 hour candle and use those 950s as support, especially if we get through that 936. And on the hourly candle, through the 36s, you should get all the way down to like 822. May stay in this range and push back down to the 50 level, and we'll see if we can get through this 50. Hmm. You got a pivot right here? Oh, see, I have no pivot at the moment. I got to pivot back to the top side and the bottom side. What's been causing the most damage on your accounts? Just over leveraging, Nick? Hmm. I want to see what happens if we get above 20 here. All right, so trader, maybe this will be the push back up to that 100 here. Mm. I swear, I thought we were gonna get that push up once we got above 20. You son of a bee. Lost my profits. All right, we gotta log off these fucking pundits. Just, dude, I kind of feel you, Nick. I feel like I've been where I just had a rough week last week. Then I feel hesitating about pulling every single trade lately. I was looking for the 55 retest, but it didn't quite break that 33. It was one of those deals where I trade off whole numbers. Hmm. The struggles are for real. Like I said, we did try that long at there at the 20. So we were just basically risking the profits we made. And we still have that untested pivot on the hourly down at 936. That's kind of what we were looking for a while ago for the bounce, but kind of bounced there right before it. Then also the next level down there is all the way down to the 850s. Are you still holding your long trader up to the 100? Hmm. Waiting for the accumulation. Hmm. It's going to be the breakout year. We popped at 750, guys. You should get a big pop here. Hmm. Like I said, we would have to get through the 55. That is the key area here. Let's see. This level here, 55. We've been trying to long this above the 20 level um, for the last few minutes. Well, I tried once, I guess. I got like 9 points and it came back. So didn't quite have the breakout already. If you look on the hourly candle, there's a big down wick at 110. So here's that one level. If we don't get through this, this is on the 15-minute charts. That's the level that we've been looking for just to try to even get a long up to for the last few minutes. It's just to try to get there to that 55. That's why that's what the blue line that we have marked out there is for. That's a 15-minute pivot. You would think that we'd want to fill in this gap all the way at 160. So I don't know if 160 could be a possible target or if the bottom of the 4-hour candle there at 416. I'm going to go for the safe target right below the whole number since if you look at the hourly candle, we have a big down wick sitting at 118. All right, so at least mark it. We'll lock in at least 30 points here. Or 25. I would go with 25 just in case. We could print here and get another nice retest of that 55 level here. Do we do a little add-in? I wouldn't mind doing an add-in if we could. All right, let's see if we get this 55.50 pullback here. I wouldn't mind pulling it back and try to add in one. We hit that pivot, that 5 minute there. All right, so if we do pull back to the 55, I will try to add in. But we at least got 30 points locked in case we get stopped out. Yeah, very nice candle. Unfortunately, I missed a big down candle. I actually tried to short that first candle, but then I lost my profit a while ago because I was still looking for longs a while ago. It's just got a little impatient and got in one move too early. Part of it though. All right, we're going to lock in most of this profit, guys, because like I said, I'm not sure what's going to happen up there around the 100s. So we at least get 50 points or whatever, how many that is, 70 points. We'll give it a little bit more to 75. How's that sound? $75 is usually a pullback that I look for. There's your 75. Remember, we like to retouch to 75. I won't let it come back down again, so we're going to start following it up. Like I said, that new 15-minute candle is I'm looking for a pullback down to 56, and we may switch over to an eval if that's the case. So we have 65 points locked in. This is probably going to run some wicks here, guys. Is this a new 15-minute candle too? No? No, we got 5 minutes for a new 15 minutes here. Boy, it's loving that whole number. We're staying right below that whole number. All right, that should get us there. All right. What's up, Java? How are you doing? Oh, it wanted to take me out, so I couldn't get those last little points. All right, let's see if we get. Man, this is actually a long move that I like, but it's also into that 13. All right, we're switching over to an eval here. There's a big hourly wick right there. You're in short. Yeah, I almost pushed the button off that short and see if we get a pullback down to off those 13 levels. It's already up freaking 20 points. I can't chase it now. I was still looking for another retest of 50. But this next trade is just going to be evals only, guys. I think we're done trading fundeds. We're going to be red on one funded because I was up a little bit, but I risked my profits on that early long while ago. So we're going to be $84 in the red on that funded, as you can see. That was that one we went in kind of pre-market on the same long. We tried to take this same long, but like I said, we were just a candle too early. This was the same long I took this funded account on, and these are both funded accounts. So I lost my profit on this long. Like I said, I jumped in on this candle here, or no, this candle here, and I held my runner. We got up like 8 or 9 points, and we just could not bust through the top here. So that's where that loss came from. Woo-wee. I know. I just didn't want to deal with the big pullback trader just in case it came back. I knew there was going to be resistance up there at that 3rd and 13. If you look at the hourly candle, I mean, it's like, it's just, I just got out of trade and I just did not want to take back-to-back trades. Oh, and that's a 4-hour low also right there. So 4-hour low, 1-hour low. So a lot of nice short off that area. If you had the cojones to take it, this is on the hourly candle. Oh wait, this is, yeah, hourly candle here. Go back to the 5 minutes. What target are you looking for to the downside, Java? So we're logging off our elusive. We're not even going to touch those since we already took the loss there. We don't want no reason to jump back in those. I'm thinking about looking for an eval trade here in a little bit if we can find one. So eval trade. I'm assuming we're waiting. Well, we got the new 15-minute candle here. Let's see. Like I said, I want to see the 15-minute pullback to the 56 and retest its pivot and see what happens with that area there. It's going good west. We're kind of like a 50-50 day. Red on one funded because I was green a little bit, but I decided to risk my profits on this long here, and I was like one move too early on the long. And I just couldn't withstand the big pullback that we were having, so I had to close it for a loss. So I did get back in long again and made the nice trade, but like I said, we took the loss on the first account. So we just couldn't risk that much profit. So we were just trying to minimize our loss. You know, that's just part of it, especially if you're playing small accounts. Sometimes it's just best to take your small loss and move on. Because usually if I start with, kind of, and I was only in 2 micros. I wasn't even in that heavy. And we ended up risking 25 points. So then it went down another, 10 points, then ripped up 120 points. But that's how it goes. It's like, you dirty, dirty girl. Oh, goodness. Now we're just kind of back to sitting on our hands and see if we can find an eval trade. I have this one eval that I really want to get past. We need $400 on it. It's a My Funded Futures Builder account. If I want to get that passed this week, if we can. Like I said, I'm still looking for the 55 pullback. And a lot of times that's the 15-minute pivot. And that's kind of the area I'm waiting to see what happens. If not, a push up to 163. So that would be my next target up here. Right there at the VWAP to kind of pull into this gap here to retest this gap. So 163 is my next target to the upside if we continue to the upside. But I was hoping the 15 minutes would give us a deeper pullback. Or maybe we can print above this 4-hour low here. You got to think, man, you got this 4-hour low sitting here at 14. We're about to have a new candle. I know as soon as I chase this crap, dude, it's going to have a big pullback and we're going to be just... Ugh. Even though it's going to be an eval trade, but still. Don't feel like taking no big L's on it. And plus you got a gap fill in here at 40 something. You want to see it. I want to make sure it kind of gets through those levels. You'll get 10 points. It's almost like you'll hit that 25, then reject. Yeah, oh, next 5 or 10 minutes. I was looking for a possible big pullback off that 63, if you're into scalping. But like I said, I've been looking for the pullback back to 55, 57. We might be able to even take a long down there if we do get the pullback. Don't know if we will, but because a lot of times, even on the 15 minutes, likes to retest these pivots, and that's at 57. And this would fill in this gap down here too, because we left the gap down here, kind of fill in this imbalance gap, then just go back up. But for shorts, you probably don't want us back below this area here. What, 32s? Kind of retest this resistance where we kind of build up resistance from earlier. Yeah, we had a lot of good support on I want to say the hourly candle. You still got about, what is that? Oh, that's 4 hours. Go to the hour here. I think it's going to be tough to get through those teens, honestly. Do we try a teaser trade off the 57 here with a couple micros with the eval? If we do, it's going to be eval only, guys. Maybe do the back door and just see if we do get the bounce. Now, are you thinking downtown, like back to the lows, or just downtown for like 50, 60% pullback? Like this is just a leg pullback, trader or trading. We have 5 minutes to a brand new hourly candle. Now, if this new hourly candle can leave this bull flag, this breaker block, order block here, man, that's going to be very tempting to want to go back short. We're almost creating like that little setup that I like to take on the 5 minutes. Oh, just pull back. Yeah, I've been anticipating a 57 pullback for a few minutes here off the 15 minutes, but it's like we're just struggling to kind of push back down that way. But I'm not going to chase it. I didn't know if we would get back through that previous 4 hour low without some kind of decent pullback. That's the only thing I wasn't sure. That's why I kind of like, man, I wish I was able to pull the trigger, but like I said, I just didn't want to chase. What is your target that you're looking for to the downside, Java? I know you said you got, I mean, I like where you got in, if you got short up there around that 1 hour candle, especially around that 118s or 110 area. That's why I had my target on the long at 98 because I didn't want to fight above the 300, but I didn't want to give back profit either, even though it did hit my target. So we gave up about 40 bucks on that funded a while ago. Giving up the dollars. I need to get on another good streak with this account because this is that account that, man, we almost went tilt on this freaking funded account last week. Oh, you're looking for the lows? I'm waiting for the top of the hour before we kind of see what happens with this top of the hour candle. So we're just kind of back to sitting on our hands, guys. Like I said, we were anticipating that breakout above 20 level. We did take it twice. The first time I didn't want to withstand the drawdown, so I closed the trade for a 20-point loss. I did re-enter, and that was the previous trade that we were in. That's the only thing about trying to time breakouts, guys. It's so risky. Now I am trading eval, so I'm waiting to see what happens if we can retest the 55s here. So that's kind of what we're waiting on to see what happens here. And if on the hourly, man, you got on your hourly support and resistance, man, you got stuff all the way back down to 850. It's about to let it go. If I can just jump in and grab a couple nibbles, I'm okay with that. We're going to be patient and wait. Maybe, maybe. All right, here comes the new hourly candle. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with this new hourly candle. If this hourly candle starts looking bearish, man, oof, it's going to make me want to grab this. I just don't know what kind of support I'm going to, like drawdown that I would have to take. I'd almost like to see that 1 hour candle push up into that gap to fill in that gap, then go. All right, here comes all of our new candles. 1 hour, the 15 minutes. So a lot of new candles here. Hmm. Nice. I mean, this is definitely a freaking bear flag on the hourly candle. We do like to take these setups. So it's just, I'm going to wait and see what happens with the 55 here. And this also looks like a little bull flag on the 5 minutes too, guys. So you like to see it pull back 55, 57, kind of kind of intrude on this imbalance gap that we have here, or fair value gap, whatever you like to call it. Yeah, that's another area that I was saying, like if we lose the 57s, we would have to definitely hold up at the 32s here, where we pretty much consolidated at for the last few minutes. I'm not going to leave this box on here just because it's too messy. You can just watch it here. All right, so we just broke inside of the gap, the imbalance here. And this is a little bull flag here on the 5 minutes, but a big bear flag on the freaking 1 hour candle. This is the other area right here. That would be the that would be kind of your bears, or the where the bulls need to hold up here at the least. All right, we got less than 50 seconds left on this 5 minute candle, so let's see what happens with this new 5 minute candle. We're gonna wick off of it and then pop the 15 minutes. Just there's the retest of the pivot that we've been watching on the 15 minutes. Is it gonna hold? It's getting a little bit of bounce, but it's not. You don't want to chase it. I mean, I guess that's up to you, but here's the bounce off the 57. That is a 15-minute pivot. I'm waiting for the next 5 minute candle. We got less than 20 seconds left for this 5 minute candle, and to see if this is going to hold or if it's going to break through this and maybe retest the 32s next. And it looks like it doesn't want to hold it. All right, here comes that next level of the 32. But like I said, my hourly shows a big bear flag, dude. Like this is actually a trade setup that I like on the hourly candle. But man, I really want it back below the 20s. Nice on your short Java. Dude, if I can get in the short, I'm gonna be looking for 850s if I end up shorting this. I'm gonna be looking for the big move to the downside. So we got a lot of room to the downside. We can get points. A lot of points to, a lot of points to. Well, I wasn't a long man. I wasn't gonna turn around and short after I got out of position, even though I did like that area, because that was the that's the area that we were watching to take our profit on our long from earlier. Are you break even now? Nice. Where was your entry at on your short Java? 29,100. Oh, nice. That was my take profit while ago. I actually had it at 98. But like I said, we did leave a little bit on the table. Ooh, let's see. I'm watching the hourly candle. I'm waiting for to see if we break below the body. Uh, hmm. Almost- No diddling in the middle of the hourly candle. I wouldn't be interested in longs unless we broke back above 80. In shorts, we would kind of need to get back under the 30s or even the 20s. We got 3 minutes left for a new 15-minute candle. Still plenty of time, guys. It's still early. Still early. Let's see. All right, 2 minutes left. I think that's probably the safest play to wait another 2 minutes and see what this 15-minute candle has to offer. What's up, Bozo? How are you doing today? Pretty good. We just been kind of sitting on our hands. We were in a nice long earlier, but right now we just kind of sitting on our hands and just waiting. So we're just kind of waiting to see what this pullback gives us. Did I go live on YT today? Yeah, we're on YouTube today. All right. Is this thing gonna break that 80 before we are ready for 80 to be broke? A lot of resistance right there. Yeah, we're actually on MNQ. So these would be micros because we're just trading on 25K accounts where you only get like $1,500 of drawdown. All right, 50 seconds left, guys. 50 seconds. We're waiting on the new 15-minute candle here in 45 seconds. I was waiting to see what the 15-minute candle does here at this 57 that we've been kind of just kind of hovering around back and forth. So I don't really know. I mean, I would like it to continue short. If I'm watching the hourly candle, that's what it looks like it's going to do. If you're looking at the hourly candle, it looks like it's going to continue short. All right. But I am on eval, so we are going to probably be trading a little bit more aggressively on evals here. $57 retest. Nice and clean on the 15 minutes. If we can just get maybe a cheap trade here. That 57 just don't want to give it up, does it? I was hoping the 15 minutes would hold that 57 level. Wes, you're still holding long? I don't know. We're kind of in the middle of this hourly candle at the moment. So we're just trying to stay patient here. I just don't want to jump in too early. Do I ever use CBD? You would have to tell me what that is. I'm not sure if I recognize those abbreviations. Bozo. I might know what it is, but maybe I just don't recognize the abbreviation. I'm assuming volume something. Oh, no. Just mainly all support and resistance off higher time frames. So like this trade here was just like the last long we took was just mostly a breakout above support and resistance, which is that 20 area that we were waiting for us to break. So we took the last long for like 60 points, but I did get stopped out because I bought in just a tad bit earlier. And I missed the big short this morning, unfortunately, because I had to keep my stop losses fairly small most of the time because of the size accounts we're trading. So sometimes it's just better to take your small loss and move on to the next trade than it is to hold. Is this now we are kind of moving into the hour that we consolidate a lot too, so kind of have to be aware of that too. Maybe this is finally the push down to the 20 here. Let's see if we can get down to the 20. Now we're only going to risk 10 points on this, guys. So if it's back above 57, I will close. So remember, 57 is the most that I'm willing to hold this. Now this is eval only too. And this could be the bottom of the range. That's the only other thing that we have to kind of consider here. I was trying to be in right at that 32 level. There's that 32 hit that we talked about a while ago, right there where this all this consolidation is. And 57 is still my line in the sand. So if it comes up and gets back above 57, we will close this. So to me, this is kind of the bull bear line in the sand here, guys. Trying to zoom in a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to close this back above 57.60. Okay. So that was a retest of the 32. Thought maybe we could push down there past the, where's the 15 minutes? Oh, actually, it hit 34. Now I want to see it if we get back above 80, where we break back above this previously hourly candle. Because we do have 60, well, we did earlier have 63 as a target up there. I don't think it's there anymore. Oh, 29 is the low ball of your VWAP there. Oh, okay. Nice, Java. Nice. How are you doing today, Tris Trader? We're doing pretty good. We're 50-50 on the fundeds. We're red on one funded by 80 bucks and green on one funded by 163. So it's just kind of a 50-50 day. Now we're just kind of get some eval trades in. We're about 390 away from passing this next eval. And so this is what we're trying to pass at the moment. Dude, I can't believe 32 is the low. 77 is my line in the sand here too. Or 70, 79, 80. We're just looking for 10-point scalps. Remember, guys, I don't ever recommend following eval trades here. We just pretty much scalp these eval accounts where we're just looking for anywhere between 5, 10 to 15, 20 points. And the 70 area is my line in the sand. So basically, if we lose 70, we'll just close this. See, we hit that. 45 to 71. Okay. 63 was my target from earlier. We'll go at 53. Sorry if I lost my chat there, guys. Kind of twitchy, isn't it? All right, let's see if this wick, you want to see the one here hold. May try to lock in more because I really don't want it back below these candles. We'll lock in 20 points just in case. We'll just stay right below this resistance there at that 10 level. Nice on your take profit, Wes. That 63, 64 area, maybe 43 is the next one up there. So we got another wick at 48. Oh man, I feel like 43 may be the safe target here. We're zooming in so we can kind of keep up with it here. So don't really want to lose this area here. It's been tested that area twice. I don't know how much longer it can hold on. There's a lot of hourly resistance here above the, what's this? Above the 116s. That's the previous hourly low, except for the hourly low that we just made. It's almost like, do we get through all this and go all the way back up to? No, this could just be building another bear flag on the hourly candle. So it's kind of what it looks like to me. Man, 10, 16. 1 minute left, guys. 1 minute. All right, 40 seconds left on this candle. Last time we had our take profit hit because on that long that we took from 29,010, we were actually targeting 98 and we missed out on profit just because we wanted to lock in profit. But that 32 area hold, but I did not have the cojones to pull the trigger off that 32. 195. I'm not going to fight through. I don't mind that target that you're talking about. There's another pivot up there around there. I just don't want to fight it. I'm going to try to take the safe play if I can. And I think that 53 is my safe play because I'm kind of curious what happens at the 60s. I almost want to try to start locking in more profit just because it's just an eval. And that's also going to rebalance that gap. Not completely, but you will wick into it. A lot of times we'll wick into those gaps with decent little pullbacks. All right, we're going to lock in 30 points. So whatever happens, we at least get 30 points out of this. The safer play was to wait for this candle to print with a retest of this 10. If you want to trade off support resistance, you can see it retested that 110 perfectly. But also same play down here on the 34, but this one happened so fast that it didn't really give you enough time. So this is that area that we were saying is pretty much going to be kind of our line in the sand. This thing could easily hit the 50 and come back down to the 30s or even 25s. So we're going to lock in more profit here, and hopefully these wicks right here will help hold us up. All right, nice. All right, so we hit our take profit. That we're inside that gap. We're about to hit the bottom of a hourly candle at 67, 63 area. That's the area that I did not want to fight. You also have your WWAP slash VWAP sitting there also, and a bottom of a hourly red candle also at 67, 69. And that's the area that I did not want to fight. So this was really the purpose of just me taking my profit at 50, just being safe targets. No, we're not brothers. We are we're like second cousins, Trist. So he would be first cousins with my mother. Same family pretty much. We grew up together. I mean, my mom had me at a fairly young age, so we pretty much grew up together. That's like cousins. I guess we would marinate from the same grandparents, I guess. So, same grandparents. Trader 25 is like, I don't, I mean, it could go up, man. I just did not want to fight those levels. I was like, I'm going to take my safe target. Just take the safe targets. Oh, man. Excuse me. So we're about 200 bucks away from passing this my funded futures eval. Or yeah, 200 bucks. Look at it. It got out of there and it was like, let me just go and bust through that level. We ain't gonna hold back. Is this hourly candle going to let me down? All right, here's that hourly candle at 70. Do we get through the 70s or does that hourly hold up here? This the safe targets. This would be your hourly candle here. These little lines are just your highs and lows of the hourly. Uh, Now, this is the bearish order block that we created last Wednesday up here, and this is where we've been stuck. So, we've been stuck here in that big bullish order block here. So, and look, I mean, this is a really nice 1 hour trend line for the 1 hourly candle. Look at these nice legs. This is what I didn't want to fight here, guys. This is why I chose to take my profit where I did. It's not that I didn't think we could go up. I just did not want to fight the bottom of these hourly candles here. I wasn't sure what it would take us to get through here. I mean, you can see we're already kind of rejecting off of it. I'm just not sure if the buyers are going to have enough mojo to get us through there. So that was my purpose for taking profit at 53 instead of just holding for extra 10, 20 points because I wasn't sure. I was just kind of looking at these hourly wicks here to the downside. So maybe today's the day. Dude, if the hourly breaks this previous high that we have not broke, and where is that? At two, I mean, that's a long ways up. That's 284. Holy shit. That's a long ways up there. Yeah, I while ago when we took that short, I knew 34 to 20 or 32 to 20, that area that I know we had to break. And we had all that resistance built there on the 5 minutes. Now, do we get another leg pull back into this down to 114s? So I didn't, this hourly candle could give us a pullback down to here and to retest this leg here. So I don't know if that will offer another nice short entry. If we do, because we've already gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight 5-minute green candles just straight up here. We're about to have a new 15-minute candle. Then we'll have a new hourly candle in 15 minutes. I don't know if we'll be trading by then just because we've already traded one eval and one funded, or two funded. So we're red on one funded, green on one funded, and green on the eval. That last trade that we just took was strictly an eval trade. They're the ones I always say don't follow, especially on funded accounts. You know, I don't want anybody to mess up their funded accounts with my eval trades. So what was your final target up there, Trader 25? Man, look at this baby just go. Dude, just straight up 150 points off of that freaking 32 level. Isn't that crazy? Mm. The 32, 34 put up a wall. I mean, I expected a little bounce, but I did not expect it to bounce up 150 points. I mean, you can't predict this. 80 was kind of my long area. So what we were doing is reason why we chose 80. That's your hourly close on that previously hourly candle. So that's something that I've been trying to watch more, and I missed the last one. So like on these hourly candles. So this is why we had that 80 marked out. We were going to get long once this green candle turned back green. If you ever go back and look at all your hourly candles, usually anytime it breaks back above the previous close, usually you at least get, you can scalp points. The high of that previous, man, do we just get stuck in this? Well, we're back at the previous day low at 220. So we're pretty much back to the opening range here. So is this our pullback here? I mean, that is a lot of red candles without any kind of pullback. Let's see. I almost wanted a short there. Oh, I could have got my 10 points too. Son of a bee. Probably going to push back to at least what, 60. Look for a bounce here. Back to 88. 65 would be kind of like your pullback area. A lot of green candles, not red. Let's see if we can get a cheap trade here. As long as 88 holds. Hmm. Cheapy, cheapo. Now this would just be a scalp. All right, so we only got to risk 8 points on this. Back above 90s, I will close this. So just so you know. This is eval only. I would never do this on a funded. I know 65 is your possible bounce area, 67. This is just scalping. This is all this is. And I'm controlling my stop out. I'm not really have the stop loss, so we're doing it based off of Rico candles. Like I said, I don't ever recommend following these because these are mainly off of my, and these are even accounts that I didn't pay for either. So this is why we're being aggressive with this. All right, so we're gonna have to probably close this. And we're taking these off of Rico candles. I don't like the new candle here. All right. First target hit. I'm anticipating a bounce at 67. That's your VWAP and that's the 21 EMA on Rico candles. We're going to pretty much go to break even just in case. This would need to get through the 60s to have a decent pullback. So it should hit off 67 where it did. Then if it pulls back up, you want to see it hold 83. You're losing those levels, so now you might get a pullback to 30 if we can get through here. Now what's that? This could be our pullback with the pop. So we're going to at least lock in a few points here just in case. 76. S- 66. Just a little bit more. Oh, give me the 50. I should have front run that freaking 50 level because this thing could pull back up to 75. Oh, that's so dirty. All right. That's like goodness. That's like every trade today is making me fight for the levels here. And that's basically strictly taken off of Rico candles, guys. For anybody that knows that I do trade off Rico candles with evals. Not so much with fundeds, but with evals, yes. So that's all we're doing is just following the Ricos. And like I said, that next target down, if you are watching Rico candles on the 50 EMA, is going to be down in the 120s to 130s. And that's also sitting on the top of these last two big kind of like 5-minute candles here. All right. Here's our new hourly candle here. Is that the new hourly? What time is it? Yeah, it is. Ooh. Does this hourly candle stay bullish here? Is this a little bull flag here for another breakout to the top side? Let's see. Let's see. We created resistance on the 1 hour. That resistance at 262. Let's see. Hmm. Waiting to see if this candle turns. We want to see this turn green. Is that above 70? I got that shit late. Mm. Trying to take that off the hourly candle here. I meant to be long where I had my blue freaking line at. I didn't anticipate that pop like that. Back below 67, I'll just have to close this. Don't want to see the the hourly candle turn red as it's doing. Let me see if I can just get out of this trade, actually. I was just trying to get out of this thing. I didn't want to be long at 80. I wanted to be long at 70 where I had the blue line. Oh, I guess I don't have my blue line put on this chart. And that 70 is still kind of my line in the sand here too. I don't know if we get through here because that's a lot of resistance up through here. What, 263 would be the target? Remember, 70 is still kind of my line in the sand here, along with that VWAP. And what that is the close of your, that was the open of the 1 hour candle or the close of the 1 hour candle from the last hour at 69.70. So 69 was the close of your previously hourly candle. So that's why we were trying to long above the 69. Ooh, new 5-minute candle here. You see that 69.70 area still kind of holding. This is just one micro left too. All right, I might have to close this. All right. We closed out our runner. So this could be a decent pullback here too if you're watching the hourly candle. Remember, guys, we're trading evals, so we are just scalping, looking for 10 points. We're just looking for little breakouts and resistance. This is why usually I don't tell people to copy these trades. The reason why is because they happen so fast and there's a delay on YouTube. So you're looking at a 5 or 6 second delay. So it's really hard to follow these unless you're just looking for the same area. I try to put the blue lines up there to kind of show you what area I'm looking for. And 70 was the pop here where that hourly candle closed at a few minutes ago. But this also could be another leg because we're constantly making lower highs on the hourly. So this, never know. We got resistance sitting up there at 263. That was the, what, hourly candle from, what time was that candle? That's from 9 o'clock. That was the actually 6 o'clock this morning, 7 or 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Oh, excuse me. It looks like we're up 121 so far for the last few minutes that we've been trading this account. This is a, like I said, eval trade. The ones that we're sitting here scalping, we're up 121. That 189 was from that big long from earlier. So remember, guys, most of our trades are between, with this 50K, we're trading most of the time between 3 to 5 micros. Usually starting out with 3 micros, then sometimes we may add if we feel like that area is going to hold up. But we always kind of got an area that we're watching to make sure it doesn't break. If we feel like it's going to break it and doesn't hold, we'll just close the trade and take the small loss and move on to the next trade. So, see that's see, I didn't know if we push back down to 108 here. Remember how I said that we could, I was almost anticipating us to retrace this whole move back down to here. If I can get a cheap trade, remember 70 is still my line in the sand. Kind of wanted to add again at that 70, but I couldn't get it in time. Remember, guys, please do not follow eval trades. $70 is my line in the sand here. 69.70. Dude, that 70. I looked away at my phone for a second and I missed the 70. Hmm. The 70 just don't want to give it up, does it? Remember, I don't have my stop loss where it needs to be. I just close out the trade manually. Out of the 70, I'll have to close this. I was waiting to see if this area was going to hold or not. Doesn't look like it's going to. We just crossed my last target or last resistance there. Okay, I gotta close. Son of a B. I guess we'll have to switch accounts. So that took our profits back down to 50. This thing just went straight up. Probably going to be the last trade of the day. What a pop that was. A lot of resistance up in this area. This thing bounced off that 9 EMA multiple times at 93. It's on a struggle bus, isn't it? I think that's going to be it for me today, guys. I don't know if it's just going to chop around for the next hour. We're just not sure where that previously hourly high is at. We're at the current day mid. It's at the 50%. Previous day close. Wow, this thing's just on a tear right now. Dude, what a crazy reversal. Did you stay in your long, trader? Man, if we can get through that previous day close, we should get a big move to the top side, or bigger move. What, 263? Oh, you're out. Nice. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We're not going to continue trading during the lunch hour. I just know I'll start way over trading my evals if I continue this. So that was the previous day low there at the 220s. I was almost a little short bias earlier, but that's the NQ for you. All right, guys. Thank you, and everyone have a great evening.